because of that, listening to that, I have worked hard to come up with a moratorium. And during this moratorium time, Commissioner Goldmark has asked us as county commissioners to come up with, or help him and his staff come up with a long-term plan for how these properties can be best used for the citizens of the county. My hope is that most of the land that is in East Jefferson County, administered by DNR, will continue to be administered by DNR. Our challenge is that the staff of DNR says on occasion, if we keep this property where all these people live, every time we try to cut some trees, there's going to be a big battle. And it'd be a lot easier for us to just pull out, go over east or go to the west of Highway 101 where nobody lives, and then we can cut these trees as much as we want, as they do on the west end of Jefferson County, where they have vast, vast forest lands. The Olympic Experimental State Forest is an example of that. So, the challenge for me, and I hope it's one that people here will take up, is to let DNR know that we will be good neighbors and we will not complain when there is a harvest done with these trees according to the DNR harvest schedule, which I should say is less frequent than the ones that are commonly followed by private timber companies, and is also much more attentive to habitat preservation. An exception to what I've just said is this unusual piece of property that's between BOCC Lake and Gibbs Lake. And it makes an awful lot of sense, I believe, for the county to look at taking over that particular piece of land. Why? We already own a land on either side. We have caretakers who are located at BOCC Lake and at Gibbs Lake, and it would not be an additional expense or problem for them to be able to observe and manage this property that's in between. So the one exception that I'm asking folks to consider in allowing the timber harvest to continue is in this one area, which I hope we can eventually have revert to the county. I probably answered more of this question than was asked, but it's an important question, and I hope to get the complexities across.
And you started to answer the next question. Regarding Gibbs Lake, the 240-acre parcel between Gibbs and BOCC Lakes, is it true that the county can request to transfer the entire parcel from DNR to the county for free for county parkland? And if so, what can citizens do to encourage this to happen?
Two things. Well, we've received quite a few letters, particularly about the Gibbs Lake area, and those encourage us because there are people who don't want this to happen. There are people who say we will lose revenue as a county, and there's some truth to that. There will be a reduction overall to the county's revenue. Not a tremendous amount, but the flip side of that is that the county will then have some property that can be used to create a very nice park. The other part of the question was what?
If so, what can citizens do to encourage this to happen?
Certainly to write to us. You can write to the Commissioner of Public Lands, Peter Goldmark. His address is on the Commissioner of Public Lands website, and that helps us. I know that they actually read and they listen. There's a Board of Natural Resources that makes the ultimate decision on all timber sales. And the Board of Natural Resources gets these letters and read them and listen to them. They also listen to what the county commissioners have to say. The harvest that was scheduled to take place is called the Silent Alder harvest, and it consists of 7 different parcels. 2 of them are around the Gibbs Lake area, and 5 others are out on the Twandos Peninsula. That's on the way to Coyle. The entire cut has been postponed for 2 months to give us time to look at what can happen. I predict that probably what we're going to end up having happen in the Silent Alder sale is that the 2 parcels that are near Gibbs Lake will be taken off of the harvest schedule, and the other areas, the other 5, will continue to go through the harvest schedule. That's my hope. On Wednesday, I'm going to be meeting with staff in Commissioner Goldmark's office and trying to put together a plan that makes sense. I won't be the final decider on what we as county commissioners do. I will bring this back to my brother county commissioners, and we will come up with a plan that we hope will be acceptable to Commissioner Goldmark and the Board of Natural Resources.
Thank you. We're getting to the fun stuff here with the funding and permits and regulations, so don't lose heart. Under the IMQ, what's happening with the Iron Mountain Quarry? I'm concerned.
Yeah, I can answer that. IMQ, they have not, the applicant has not yet submitted its request for permitting. It's expected, I was talking to DCD staff today, and they were expecting that it could happen toward the end of the month. And of course, we're getting to the end of the month. When they receive their, when we receive the request to DC to continue with the permitting, DCD staff will then go ahead with that.
Okay. We've got two, I think, for the prosecutor's office in two different sections, and I'm not sure what can be said about it, but the first one is, how is the cost of the Pierce trial going to be handled by the prosecutor's office budget?
And Sheriff Brassfield's right. The prosecutor's office really can't discuss the case openly.